Hey everybody, we're back. It's Jessica. We're back to filming weekly memory keeping videos, although I think the way I staggered my July memory keeping videos, it hasn't been that long since I've uploaded one anyway, but I did skip the whole month of August, and it was really nice just to kind of take that time for myself to put down stickers and to use kits. Even if I wasn't filming it, I was definitely working through some things of like, I am allowed to use stickers even if I'm not posting them on the internet. So yeah, that was good. If you missed it, I did post an August recap showing all of those weekly spreads if you're interested in seeing them. But yeah, we're going to be back to more of the process videos, the actually laying the stickers down videos for September. And my September is getting very busy, so there's going to be a lot to talk about, I think. This week I am using for the first time a Bunny Bear Plans kit, and I got a whole bunch of extras with that as well. So I got like the full kit. I don't think she carries this one anymore though, so sorry about that. I'm kind of sad about it too because after using it I kind of want to pick up extras from it, but she doesn't sell it anymore. So I picked up the extra color, which was green. I picked up these extra guest boxes because we were guests at a wedding this week, and I picked up extra washi. And I think that was all the extras that I picked up. I picked up the extra bride boxes as well. And I feel like Siobhan does a lot of variety among the fashion people, like uses all of the possible options. So that's great. And keeps them up with the full kit for the time that the kit is available. So I think I used more extenders than I intended this week. There were just a lot of little things that happened this week. So I had an extender on Saturday because that was the wedding day. And then I had an extender on Thursday for no reason other than there were just like a lot of little things that I was working on. I decided to put both of the guest boxes in the sidebar, and then I used this one of the bride boxes because it kind of best matched the bride's dress. I feel like this is a very popular style right now, the satin ball gown, buttons all down the back. I've seen it at pretty much most of the weddings that I've been at the last 2 years, which is funny to me. And then, yeah, I really loved the art in this kit. This was Kittenish Jess art, and there was especially a box with a bunch of wine glasses in it, which was appropriate because this wedding was at a vineyard. I really love how this turned out. I still saved a bunch of full boxes though, especially ones that I felt like I could use for an anniversary. I kind of wish I used the cannoli box in this week instead of one of the like flat lays of the invitations or the menu or things like that, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm going to use this art for an anniversary or whatever, but yeah, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And I'm especially glad that I brought in the green, both in the washi as well as in the colors to the kit. I swapped out the dark kind of reddish maroon color, even though it would have matched this wedding pretty well. I think the groom was he in maroon or more of like a plum color? I can't remember. It looks different in photos versus real life anyway. But I just didn't really love the heart pattern with the maroon, and also I didn't love how the label color turned out. I talked about that a little bit in my lineup. Nothing against the shop, it just wasn't my cup of tea. So I alternated between cream, green, kind of the dusty pink, and the less dusty pink. I don't know how to differentiate those colors from each other, and I think that ended up turning out really well. And I especially wanted to use green on Saturday because there was this really pretty floral like hedge box from the washi extra that I wanted to use for the wedding specifically. So really, really happy with how this turned out. It was a very monochromatic kit, but I think adding the green to it just made it way better in my opinion. And I did color block. I loved that as well. I love color blocking lately. I mean, I think most weeks in my 2025 planner are color blocked. So I'm also going to put down a ton of deco. I'm going to spend way more time on deco than I normally would. There was lots of itsy bitsy deco in this kit, which I do enjoy. Some of it was really tricky to pull up, especially because some of the stickers were cut a little too far down. I had to sacrifice a wine glass from the deco. It just lost all its backing, but I'm fine with that. I completely understand with smaller shops that are like a one-person show, things happening like that. It's more annoying when it's like a big shop that has a whole team of people who should be doing quality control, and then you still get stickers that are not great. But with smaller shops, I completely understand and give grace in that situation. So this week, we had the plan to go to our friend's wedding. My husband was a groomsman in that wedding. We were also planning to go to the welcome party the night before that we were invited to. We ended up not going to that because my husband got sick this week. And he didn't just get sick, he got COVID. So that really added a bit of stress to the week. I loved the bouquets in this art, by the way, and the champagne bottles. There wasn't the champagne bucket in the full boxes to this specific kit, but I did use the deco right there. That was really nice. And I love the cake in this too. Yeah, so we had to run it by, or he ran it by his friend, the groom, and we ended up going to the wedding. I tested negative the entire time, so I was fine. But my husband did need to wear a mask and all of that, and we decided, like, he was supposed to go to a groomsmen dinner and the rehearsal on Thursday. He skipped that because he's like, I don't want to get you sick. And then we skipped together the welcome party on Friday because, again, we were like, the most important thing is that you all don't get sick before the wedding. Obviously, we don't want to get anybody sick ever if we can help it, but they were fine with us coming to the wedding, but we kind of drew a line of like, I don't think we should come to the pre-wedding events. I just don't think that's a good idea. So we didn't go to that. And then I had to call out sick because I had like a stuffy nose. I tested negative the entire time. I took like 3 different tests this week, spaced out. And all I had was a stuffy nose, but I still just decided to cancel my classes on Wednesday because I just don't think it's worth potentially passing stuff to people. And teaching with a mask on, which is what I had to do the next week when I came back, really is not fun, like especially when you have to lecture a lot. Like my nose just gets so dried out. So yeah, I was just like, we're just calling it off this week and we'll pick up where we left off the next week because this was still so early in the semester that it's like, is it worth it? Not really. So I just called out, and luckily, even as a part-time employee in California, I still have sick time. So I use it. I felt super guilty and super antsy the whole week though, because I really couldn't go anywhere. At least I felt like I couldn't responsibly, even though I wasn't that sick and I was testing negative, but I just didn't think it was a good idea to go pass germs to people. So I did not. So I was at home kind of irritable the whole week. So in the sidebar, I put in 2 habit trackers for flossing and for vitamins. I have these multivitamins that I've been taking on and off for like months. Mostly I've been off. And this week I was like, we're going to do everything we can to potentially not get sick. So I took them. I don't think that's why I didn't get the illness, but I don't know. I took them almost every day this week. And then I did have to pull in my own weekly sidebar sticker for this kit because even with all of the millions of stickers in this kit, which is great, there were no weekly checklists. I was surprised to find. So I had to pull in one for my leftovers collection, but that's fine. I apparently had a green color that matched. And then now I'm just filling in with little bits of foil deco from Scribble Prints Co. because I thought, just going with like a little bit of a minimalist approach, I decided to use gold foil. So I had these corners from SBC as well as little hearts, and I thought both of them were appropriate for a wedding week. So yeah, a little bit of a stressful week just because we had a plan and then we had to totally change the plan. But luckily my husband didn't get as sick this time as the last time. We both got COVID, which was 2.5 years ago. That's the only time I've had it to my knowledge, and we were both a lot more sick that time, especially him. So luckily things were fine pretty soon afterward. He did go to SoCal the weekend before this and was with his sister's family, and I'm pretty sure that's where he got it. So, and I've said this to him, I'm like, if it had been me, I wouldn't have gone Labor Day weekend right before I knew I had to be in a wedding, but that's just me. I don't get to make that decision for you. And yeah. Anyway, I really love this section of the planner. I love that box in the upper corner. I did drink several glasses of white wine because it was at a winery, this wedding, so that was nice. But getting into the day by day, the first thing I marked on Monday was Labor Day. I'm going to pull in a Beneva Creations couple for that because my husband had been gone this weekend, so I wanted to mark spending time with him this day. And then we just had a slow morning. I had initially wanted to go somewhere for Labor Day, but I don't know, I was just feeling really tired. So we were just kind of chilling in our town. So that coffee cups from SPC. And then I did place a ThredUp order this day. I got the items from this order. So I ordered a pair of jeans, a pair of leggings, and a skirt. And the leggings and the skirt fit fine. The jeans don't fit me though, which is weird because they're the same size as another pair of jeans I have from the same brand in the same size. So I'm gonna probably, I don't know, sell them. Yeah, I might just donate them. I got a really good deal. They were really cheap, so whatever. But yeah, that sticker's from Cinderella Paper. And then this week I picked a whole lot of tomatoes. Like our tomato plants were tomatoing this week. So you're gonna see these Sweet Ava's Paper tomato plant stickers quite a lot. Then I was playing with stickers. So I think I was putting down stickers for the week before. No, like 2 weeks prior. So that icon is from Bella Planella, and I believe the script is as well. And then we had a financial chat because it was the first of the month, and we decided to go mini golfing this day. So we went to a place we hadn't been before. It's called Tipsy Putt. I think they only have them in California, maybe Nevada. I'm not sure. The mini golf was okay. Like it was cute. They had a little miniature tower bridge, which is one of our landmarks in Sacramento. But the actual, it was like 9 holes, and like it wasn't that impressive, especially for the price. The guy at the desk gave us unlimited games that day, which was nice of him. It was because he and my husband had the same name. He noticed it on the reservation. So we got that for free, which was fun. So we got to run through it 2 times instead of just paying for 1 time. But I don't know, not the most impressive mini golf course I've been to, but it is in downtown Sac. And it was just something to do. It was really hot this day, so we wanted something inside to do. The food was surprisingly really good. Like my husband got, they had like some fusion items on the menu. So he got tikka masala tacos, which were really good. And then I got these pulled pork sliders that were surprisingly very seasoned. So the food was good. It's just the mini golf was like kind of whatever. And the beer options are really good as well because they like to have local beers on tap. And I got this beer called the Hoppy Gilmore, which was like some sort of IPA, which is kind of my jam. And it was very tasty. So food and drink are great there. Just the games are kind of whatever. But just something to do that night. So I had a golf sticker from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. and a date night script from Magical Sticker Co. And then we came home and just watched some Josh Johnson on YouTube. Tuesday was when my husband tested positive, so that was a bummer. And then I was just in my feelings because I was annoyed about having to like rearrange the whole week and figure out a bunch of stuff. And then, so those 2 stickers are from Sweet Ava's Paper. And then I marked my stuffy nose with this tissue box from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. I was doing the budget, and then I had my virtual office hour because of course I could still do that without infecting anybody. So that is from Sweet Ava's Paper. I graded, I think, some classwork, or no, discussion posts, something, all the introductory stuff. Not really grading so much as just like marking it complete. So that's from Beneva Creations. My husband did go to urgent care to get some medication. And then I was doing some exercise. So I just marked that with a little heart from the SPC foil bundle. And then I took a COVID test. So here's the other annoying part. We still had a bunch of COVID tests, but like most of them were expired at this point. And obviously none of them are free anymore, not through the government, not through your health insurance, not through any of those things. So we had like one that was definitely not expired. So my husband used that one and it like immediately turned positive because that's just how his antibodies roll. I remember that from the last time we had COVID. And then we had 2 that like maybe were expired, but maybe weren't. And like the CDC stopped updating like the updated expiration dates on some of these things. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to use the 2 that we have. And then I'll get a fresh one from Target on Friday to like test for, to make certain. So I tested negative this night, but I don't know if that was a decent result because it might have been an expired test. I don't know. And then watching more Josh Johnson on the end of Wednesday. I didn't get worse illness-wise, so that's why I felt comfortable saying I was testing negative. And then plus on Friday, we got our hands on a fresh test, the one that was definitely not expired, and it still said I was negative, so that's good. For me, the last time when I did have COVID 2.5 years ago, it took me a long time to test positive, even though I was very sick and very clearly sick with the same thing that my husband had, and he was testing positive. So just keep that in mind with COVID tests. Like it took me like 5 or 6 days to register a positive test result because that's just how my body works apparently. Anyway, so Wednesday, I marked my husband working from home. I think he worked from home on Tuesday too. I was like, dude, you should take some sick time, but he had stuff to do, I guess. So that's from Bella Panella. And yes, I call my husband dude apparently. To his face and everything. That's just how we are. I marked my sick day with this Molly with the angel and the devil on her shoulders because I'm like, I know I'm doing the right thing, but why does it feel like I'm doing the wrong thing? Like I know I'm doing the right thing, not coming in. I don't really feel well. I don't feel like deathly ill, but I don't feel well. And then also I'm potentially infected with a virus that I don't want to share with people. So like I should just take my sick time and be done with it. So anyway, I had a lot of feelings about that. I did pick more tomatoes. I don't know why I said it like that. And then I put down more stickers for the week before. So that planner was from Bella Planella. I did a mini workout. I tested negative again. So I'm marking my tests with these cat face emojis from Sweet Ava's paper. And then Clover, our kitten, was super hyper this day, probably because we were both down and out. So I played with her this night because she was just very hyperactive. She's very silly. So I marked that with a Molly from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I was watching Last Week Tonight. Thursday, my husband worked from home again, so I have a Sweet Ava's paper sticker for that. The weather really cooled down this weekend, which was good and bad. We'll get into that on Saturday because I was worried with this outdoor wedding that it was going to be super duper hot because it was early September, but instead it was actually kind of cold. So that's from Beneva Creations. And then I had to call the vet to get a prescription for the cats because they have some upcoming vet appointments and they're very nervy at the vet. So, and Clover gets bitey. So I'm like, hi, it's me. For your own sake, can I get some pills for my cats, please? And they're like, sure. I'm like, great. So that phone is from Bella Planella. I had another virtual office hour. That's from Sweet Ava's paper. I did another workout and then I cleaned my engagement and my wedding rings because when you're going to a wedding, you gotta keep the bling clean, you know? I don't know what that was about. And then I put on some nails. Actually, the nails that you're seeing in this video, those are the ones I put on. I thought they would be good for the wedding. So those nails stickers are from Carly Plans. And then I was just PMSing, so that's cool. It's cool of me. And that's from Sweet Ava's paper. And I picked I want to say 15 tomatoes off our bushes this day. So many tomatoes. So that's from Sweet Ava's paper as well. And so is the couch potato to mark watching YouTube. Friday, my husband works from home again. Then I did laundry. So I have a Beneva Creations laundry hamper sticker and a script from Bella Planella. And then this was where I was for sure testing negative because first of all, I'd been exposed for 5 days already to my husband. And I had a legitimate non-expired test at that point. And then we had an English department meeting at one of my jobs. So that was virtual, so I could go to that. And I marked that with a work sticker from Sweet Ava's paper. I was just real grumpy and antsy this day because I think I'd been cooped up for too long. So I marked that with another Sweet Ava's paper sticker. And then I went to the vet to pick up the cat's prescription since I knew I didn't have COVID. And I also went to Target to pick up an order that my husband had placed because he ended up working later this day than he thought he was going to. So I'm like, I'm going to the vet anyway. They close at 5. I need to get there before 4:45 or whatever. So I'll just go to Target because I'm heading in that direction anyway. So I have a little car from Bella Planella for that. And then this was the night that Great British Bake Off series 16 is what I wrote in, was available for the US on Netflix. So I resubscribed to Netflix and we watched it. And my top 3 that I love right now, we've only seen 2 episodes of these people, right? Is Puiman, what's her name? Natalia, and Ian. And then I also, so there's a Jessica this season, which is funny to me as a Jessica, but she spells it with a K. Kind of love her too. Honestly, a lot of them are great, but my top 3 are the ones that I listed earlier. Let me know if you're watching Great British Bake Off. Let me know what you think so far. Who are you rooting for? I pick people based on talent, but also mostly the vibes. I'm like, would I be friends with this person, or do I just think this person is cool, or not even cool, just nice and I want good things for them. Do you know what I mean? I know that's weird. Obviously, I don't know these people in real life, but that's how I usually pick 3 or 4 people at the beginning of the season and then just pray for them for the whole season. So Saturday was the wedding day, but earlier in the day, I woke up to Evie wanting to snuggle with me because, like I said, the weather had cooled down. So as soon as it gets below 80, she's like, it's freezing outside. I need cuddles. So I cuddled her. So I have a cat icon from Planet Hannah and a cuddles script from Bella Planella. I started rereading White Teeth by Zadie Smith, which is a novel that I read like 2 times in a year, like 12 years ago, because I'd been assigned it in a class, and then I just loved it so much that I reread it while I was on a trip. And I started rereading it because I was going to use Cafe with Anna's homecoming kit, and the book is featured in that kit. So I was like, I'm either reading White Teeth or I'm reading Americana. So I picked White Teeth just because it's been longer since I've read that one. And it's a very dark comedy. Like, it's very dark. However, it deals with all the racism in the UK. It was published in 2000. And yeah, so it's a very dark comedy. It's very funny. It's also, as you might imagine, very dark, but it also has a lot to say. So recommend it. I picked more tomatoes, and then Kittenish Jess was live on YouTube this day, and then it was super windy this day. So it was good that it was cooler for the sake of the temperature of the wedding. However, I did my hair, like I curled it and everything. It was an absolute mess, like even before the wedding ceremony started. So that was not great. Oh well. My husband had to be at the venue early, obviously, to do photos and things. So I just went with him because it was kind of in a more, not like super rural area, but like I didn't want to be driving out there by myself and trying to figure out, especially at night, how to get home on the winding roads. So I marked getting there early with a groomsman sticker from Planet Hannah, and then I marked the ceremony with a little arch from Planet Hannah. I'm almost completely out of wedding stickers, and I want to restock them, but also I don't know who's getting married next or how many more weddings we're going to go to next year. We do have one set of friends who are engaged currently, but they haven't said anything about what they're doing as far as wedding plans. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, it was a beautiful little ceremony. And then after that, we had the cocktail hour, and I hung out with basically my husband and the groom's D&D friends. So we moved here almost 2 years ago, and one of our friends from LA connected us with their friends who had just recently moved here as well. And then the friend who got married this weekend, he was looking for a D&D group as well. So my husband dragged him into it. And so I just hung out with the 2 other couples who were from the D&D group. They're all in the D&D group. I'm the one person, the bride in the wedding here is also the other spouse who's not in the D&D group. I have thought about joining, but also I don't know how much I want to commit to D&D because it's kind of a lot if you don't know. To me anyway. If you enjoy it, then that's great. If you are like me and kind of like, I don't know if I need another commitment, it feels like a lot. So anyway, I had a bunch of glasses of Sauvignon Blanc. I definitely had one too many at some point. We'll talk about that in a minute. We hit the dance floor. I believe that sticker is from Sweet Ava's Paper, and the script is from Once More with Love, I think. And then I started getting my period at the end of this night, which was not fun. And so I had to go sit in the car for a little bit, and my husband came with me because we knew we were going to have to pack up all the stuff at the end of the wedding because these are our upstairs neighbors who got married. So we were helping them out with that because we were going back to the house anyway. So I was like, okay, we need to take like a 20-minute break because I don't feel well right now. And I know we need to stay until the very end. We can't like leave. Like if it was any other wedding, I probably would have just gone home. But with this, we needed to pack stuff up. So I marked that with a little bubble sticker from Planet Hannah because I don't know why. We blew bubbles at the end of the wedding ceremony, which was cute, except with the wind. I kept trying to blow bubbles, but it was just like blowing into the face of the guy sitting next to me, which was one of my husband's D&D friends. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I needed a bath anyway. I'm like, okay. So it was kind of like I probably should have just stopped blowing the bubbles. But anyway, that was the wedding day. It was fun. It's something we've been waiting to celebrate for like over 2 years, I feel like. So it was nice to finally see it come to fruition. It was an Alice in Wonderland themed wedding, and the bride especially put a ton of details into that, and I was very impressed. I'm like, I could not be bothered to put this level of detail into my own wedding, but it turned out really nice. Sunday, I cuddled with Evie again. I tidied up the house. I edited videos. I read more of my book. I journaled. I talked with my husband. I watched Netflix. And then the bride and groom so nicely gave us part of their cake that was left over, and it made me really nauseated. I think it was just a me problem because I guess they ate it too and it was fine. But I just could not sleep that night because my stomach was so upset. So that was a big run through of Sunday, but it was just a bunch of little things that are not that interesting. So that's how this week turned out. I am really happy with how pretty this turned out, and obviously very happy for our friends to celebrate them and to help them out where we could with the wedding. And I want to thank you so much for watching. We're going to be back in business with weekly Plan With Me's now, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.